Big brother, it's big brother, it's my brother, it's your brother, it's our brother, it's his brother, it's her brother, it's their brother, run past the gravy bro.
What is going on, gang? How the heck are you? It's Past the Gravy Bro. We are back for another Veto episode recap. We're going after kings and not knights tonight, Allison. It's Alex, and Allison holding things down. We give Emma the night off. She's feeling a little under the weather, so we're gonna let her get a little rest. And then Chris said he's catching up on some shit, so maybe we're gonna hear from both of them in the next couple of days. What's going on, chat? What's going on, everybody? We had ourselves. It was an okay episode. I don't know. It's one of those where I felt like there was so much game talk that they didn't show that could have been shown.
Yeah.
That we saw Corey's makeover. We saw 10 minutes of chicken costume.
I think it's so interesting because like they could have the Corey dressing up that happened before Thursday. So like they edited that in when they could have put in game talk and like, yeah, like you need some like lightness or whatever. You gotta keep it light. But like it could have fit in elsewhere too. Like there was some other stuff, like in maybe like a previous episode or something. But like it was definitely it happened. He wore that outfit before Blue wore that outfit, and she wore that in the HOH competition and on Eviction on Thursday. So like wow, why did we waste time on that?
Yeah, I don't know. It's the amount of stuff, and I get that I feel like are more aware of a lot of stuff going on the feeds than maybe some casuals, but the amount of game talk that happened. There's seasons where I absolutely understand that you don't have anything happening game-wise. Season 16 was let's go Frankie Grande being Frankie Grande and Zach and his bromance and all that because Derek is just steamrolling this entire thing. The cookout, let's find some fun things from the cookout we can show in there. This is a game where like, every day there's potential flip in the entire house. And it's like, it doesn't always happen, but there's a discussion where you're like, if this goes through, we could fucking have a whole new game going down.
That's my point. Like they could have saved that for a time when like maybe there is a straightforward week where like there isn't going to be a flip and they need something in the edit as long as Blue and America are still in the house. Well, and Corey. You can use that clip.
Absolutely. Angela says she's not watching the feeds this year, just using your updates, Allison, at Almar7490 on Twitter or on Instagram if you want to follow him. She gives great updates every day. And if you're not watching the feeds, it's kind of just a good catch up you can read that takes a couple of seconds.
Apparently I'm behind though.
I mean, I don't know. Like I had him on all day today. I didn't have to go into work this morning. And so I've just been doing podcast stuff and then editing stuff. And I just kind of had that on in the background. And it's like, I'm confused as to what's going on and I'm watching the feeds. So like the amount of stuff they could show that like is real game talk, like the Red talking to Cameron telling Red at that point that like, oh, hey, they're going to try and go get Heisem out, him not knowing that. And then that whole Felicia having to cover her own ass, all that stuff. That was some good stuff. Like we should have kept going and building off of that because it really did show some things. And like there is good quality game going on that they're not showing in the house because they're showing Corey for 10 minutes getting his makeover or whatever. Like I don't understand what was happening with that.
Well, and like they could have. Like they included Nicole's like storage room rant, which I loved, and like it was amazing. But that was definitely when people were trying to flip and save. Honestly, at this point, who was even evicted last week?
Riley went out last week.
Yes, because that was like after people were came to her and were like, maybe we should save Riley and like crying about it. Like that's when that happened. And like, again, as long as Nicole's in the house, you can save that and throw it in because there's been so much going on that like, I feel like every time, and I am not able to watch feeds from like freaking ever right now. And so I'm catching up using like updates from other people that I am honestly just compiling and like taking out the things like cam 1 and 2 show the plates on the table from last night. It's like, that's not important. No one cares. And like, as I'm like scrolling through the updates, I'm like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like every 5 seconds. Like we
And
just,
that's the hardest thing to watch. If you take a step out to go take a piss and then come back and the house is flipped again. You're like, wait, what? Now Red's our target? What's happening? Things are moving fast. Things are moving fast. What's going on, B? Thanks for joining us tonight in the chat. Todd's a big America fan. Todd is a big America fan. Yeah, I guess trying to get into to the episode recap portion of it instead of us just bitching about it while we recap it. Felicia tells everybody and their mom about the plan to backdoor Heisem besides Red, who is in the professors because she knows he's too loyal and will go and tell people, or thinks he will tell people. Cameron is who she nominates, so she kind of tells Cameron the plan. Cameron tells his buddy Red the plan, who then goes. And I didn't think, like, Felicia made it seem like she sniffed that out quick. I think she was good and more perceptive than anything, but like Red, I didn't think he was like that up front about like trying to like. I didn't think he made it obvious. He was just like, well, like who would you think? Like, I mean, if I had to say, like Heisem's probably somebody I would go after. Like the way he worded it, I didn't think was wrong. It was weird that Felicia's like, well, now he's obviously on to something. It's like, well, I mean, because you lied to him, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a part of it, and then also I'm like, that was her diary room reaction to it too, where like. I feel like a lot of people in the DR trying to like explain their like, I don't know, shock or whatever way of like.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't surprised. I actually knew immediately. Someone must have told him. But actually, like, you didn't fucking realize that until someone pointed it out later that he absolutely knew. Because they were fucking convinced for the longest time, and maybe even still honestly don't know, that Bowie told him.
Which is like, Bowie's not telling anybody anything because Bowie doesn't talk game.
She started. She
well,
said
like
recently. Yeah, she said yesterday, she was like, I need to make it clear which side I'm on. Like, I am absolutely on a side. I am not floating. I am on a side. And I need people to know that. So, like, I mean, maybe she'll show up a little bit more, but.
Before you talk about game, you got to start talking about talking game. So I guess she's in the right direction.
She's in baby steps.
This morning,
what the fuck was she crying about?
I don't know.
What is Bowie crying about on this show?
I miss the Aussies. I wonder how the Women's World Cup team did.
Well,
British. Yeah, they got 4th or 3rd or whatever they got. One of those.
I honestly don't remember. I stopped watching when everything went. Like,
I'm Team Spain, so my girls won.
Oh, I mean, I just stopped watching when it was like I couldn't. First of all, I can't watch the live like games because they were at 3 a.m.
Yeah, like, great way to market women's soccer, just to put them on when no one's gonna watch.
And then it was like Germany's out, the U.S. is out. It was like the Netherlands are out. Like people are falling left and right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's off topic, but yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess the Nether Gorgon just really affected her, and she's like,
maybe we didn't. The Nether regions have disappeared, by the way. You notice that?
That's what always happens to a twist. It's like good for a week, and then they realize they're gaming the game, and they stop doing it.
But then, like what? I don't understand how like Big Brother is like, well, they're gaming it. Like, what did you think they were gonna do? Like, what'd you think they're gonna do? Like, not figure out, hey, this happens. Let's figure out how to work around that thing that's happening.
We tell everybody to expect the unexpected, and these people are just dodging our bullets. Oh no!
But like the game usually, like the show will be like, oh, and the Nether Gorgon got killed or something like that. They'll write him off, and like this is just like, hey, this is as quick as like when they did what season was it with Jeff Weldon and Jackie in it from Amazing Race, where they're like, it's a takeover, and they had that weird surfer guy's voice, and like Gronk hosted a comp, and they're like, it's the Gronk takeover. It's like, well, I mean, he hosted an HOH comp, so I guess
he hosted really like 2 comps, but still, yes.
But then they like just got rid of all of that stuff. Like they just were like, and no more takeovers. We're never gonna mention it again. And they're like, oh, no, you got to go to the nether regions. Not again. All right, cool. We're not going to ever mention that again. We're going to leave that in last week and just pretend it didn't happen. 2 weeks, and that's it.
I mean, maybe it only comes out in the Scaryverse. And since this
maybe
is
that's it.
Humiliverse, like
You know what? I completely forgot about that entire part because it's so stupid.
yeah, it is so stupid.
We have like 4 themes, but they're really not any different. They're just kind of stupid. This one's this weird monster. This one is cheese and goo. And now the other ones, we don't know yet because we haven't had them.
Jeez. Has there not been one that we've seen?
I feel like I just forget them because they're not notable.
Scaryverse, Humiliverse, Scrambleverse,
which was
bringing in Suri. Maybe. What's the last one? Scrambleverse, Humiliverse, Scaryverse.
Because they don't matter.
Comic
verse. That's the one that would make the most sense. Just go with the comic theme for the season, and you can incorporate all the other stuff. There's bad guys in comics. There's scary people in comics. Like, it's fine. Yeah, the who cares verse. Who cares verse, Danielle? You get it. So we do after I wrote Corey getting a makeover. We already went over that. Who cares? Nicole talking about everybody crying and bitching and stuff. And then we had
I enjoyed
Cameron.
it, but yeah.
That was good last week when it was already gift and meme and stuff. I did have a meme ready to go with our song, our intro song in it with her doing that.
With their like really quick hands.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I forgot to post that last week. I had it for tonight's episode. So I was like, I'm going to post it now. So there we go. But yeah, that happened. And then you had Cameron telling Red talking to Felicia. You had that whole thing being exposed. Then we get finally something that was like non-game worthy, but I was really interested in seeing how they portrayed. It was Jared talking to his female Blue. Did not refer to her as a female on the show. But he was thinking it, right? Like, you could see him and he was like, she's my female.
Yeah. This is my female.
They had him.
He is blue, but my pill is red.
They had him flirting with Blue, and then you just see Siri not happy about it. And Mom is not a big fan. Yeah, Jared talking to his female.
Her face is amazing.
Todd had asked a question kind of relating to this, and Todd says, who will tip the house off first? Is it going to be Jared talking too much or Suri showing too much mom to Jared? I feel like it'll still be Jared because Suri could just see that she's being overly protective of her alliance, because I think Suri kind of does that with Izzy at times too. Like, you can play that off and be like, we just care that we're working together.
Yeah, although
he's definitely giving mom vibes, but that could just be protective alliance vibes. And it was funny when Heisem came in the storage room and they were talking, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, he's got a headache because he's hurt." He's like, "Or you're in love. Who doesn't want to see you in love?" And she's like, "Ha ha ha!" Heisem's an idiot.
I feel like yes, like she's protective and like maybe you can play it off like that, but I want to say they're only in one alliance together. Like, Jared's not officially in the Professors, is he?
Right. No, he knows about it, but he's not in it.
And he's not in Bye Bye Bitches.
Right.
And so he's in the like
females only.
Yeah. I guess he's in like 7 Deadly Sins with her, which is like new as of yesterday, or 2 days ago. I don't remember. But like, they're not in alliances together, which is like good. They shouldn't be. But like, you can't use that as an excuse of like, I'm just protective of my alliance members, when like the only alliance they're officially in together is I don't think it's real.
Yeah. No, that's true. I mean, maybe they're just like, I mean, Riley was Cameron's daughter. Shit, like, you just play that. Just be like, I don't know. He's like, he's like a son to me. And then people be like, wait, maybe that'll be what it is. Danielle raises a fairly good question. Is the handful still a thing?
No.
That was what was really funny in the beginning when they're like, the handful was worried about what they should do. And I was like, this episode feels like it's from 6 weeks ago. Like, what? Like, this house is just spinning on its head at all times. So it's like every alliance you hear, you're like, that's not. What?
I, at this point, still don't know who is actually aligned with who. Like, is 7 Deadly Sins real? Don't know.
Every time, yeah, because then they go and they're like, I didn't really mean that alliance. That was a bullshit alliance.
Which, like, fair, and that's what you should do. But I feel like at some point they have conversations where it's like, haha, so glad we fooled them. Da, 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 this is a real one. But it's like they also then have that same conversation with that fake. It's so strange.
But that's like the middleman thing, because the middleman thing broke all of our brains because it wasn't a real alliance that then they thought was a real alliance. So now the real alliance is we don't know. But now they made it a real alliance, but we don't know if it's still a real alliance or not a real alliance, or if they're just pretending that it's a real alliance where it's not really a real alliance. And now I don't know if any of the alliances are real or what's going on. I don't know if any of their dummy are they dummy alliances. Like, my brain is broken. It's
Schrodinger's alliance.
And everybody is all like squiggly line through everybody else. So it's like everybody is in an alliance or fake alliance with everybody else. There's no way you could make one.
No, it's
just a Venn there'd be 100 Venn diagrams.
Yeah.
And like it's
a lot right now.
It's like watching the feeds is like running on a treadmill. Like, I felt like I was working out today, and I was just trying to like casually like do like podcast prep and shit and like edit video and shit. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? And like somebody goes to one room and then they go to the other room and like, all right, so what happened with so-and-so was this, and Jared's going to do this, and what we're doing right here is this. And then Isom is on an apology tour and Izzy is hearing him out and all this stuff. And I mean, I don't really feel like any of this is a spoiler, even though it was stuff that was happening today, but I do not know what's going on. I do and I don't. I heard that conversation, but I don't know how real that conversation was, because they're all just gaming, and it's like you usually have 3 or 4 of these people in a game, and we have the whole house besides Bowie.
Yeah,
and Bowie's and Miko's not really gaming either. I don't think. I think she's entertaining, but she kind of hangs and waits for them to come to her.
Well, and like I feel like I don't know. It's just so much of like just this and this and da 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 da, and like, oh, this person's the new this and this person's the new this, and like Hisom's running around. His apology tour is not at all real, and like he's like, I don't know, and then he's like his DR at the end of the episode about how like, I'm gonna win and I'm gonna stay and then I'm gonna make them all feel guilty, and then but like at the same time he's fully like, I'm so sorry I made you feel not heard, and like da, 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 and what, like who's turning on who, and can you turn on someone if nobody's with someone?
Right. Yeah, no, he does that thing kind of like, I feel like before they flipped on Riley, or like before he was like talking about how he felt bad about putting Riley up, but he was like, good, Riley deserves this. I'm glad that we put her up. You know what? We should have put her up. And then he's like, yeah, look, I'm really sorry about the way that I worded that. I felt like it was rude. Or maybe it was the veto the week before, or whatever it was, where he was rude. Yeah. He was rude in all of it. But then he's just like, oh, I'm really sorry. And then he walks around and he's like, no, you know what? I did the right thing. I did do the right thing. She did deserve to go up. She should have gone up. I am not wrong. And he like consequences. It's like he goes into the other room and just talks to himself, and like, yeah, where Miko does it to cool down, he just hypes himself up and gasses himself up, and he's like, no, I'm right. They're all wrong. Fuck them. And it's after like 11 other people told you like, no, what you did was wrong. He's like, no. They're wrong. I'm right. Yeah, no, that was a really, yes. Nicole does it and to calm herself down, and it's funny. He does it and amps himself up, and then it's miserable. But it's great for us. It's miserable for him, but great for us. It's like miserable for me too. I can't wait for him to be gone, just because I sort of don't want him gone. I think we need him for a couple more weeks because it's chaos for TV. Yes, for chaos, he could. And that's what we want. We always want chaos, and then we get the chaos guys out, and then it's gonna be boring. And it's gonna, if it's boring, then we're gonna. Remember when we had Hisom? Remember that? That was fun.
I mean, it is like this
this
is
show,
the
it's
most
more fun if there's
gaming
chaos.
season in such a long time. Like of modern Big Brother seasons, I think they got a cast with the most people that are here to play, even with Matt fully being a recruit. I died. America told him that she had like, I don't know, gotten rid of her Instagram a few years ago. And he was like, well, then how did Big Brother find you? And she's like, well,
Yeah.
I applied. Like, that's perfect. But like, he's still playing. They're all playing, except for, Bowie.
And
I
Bowie's
guess.
just
I don't know.
there.
She's
Bowie-
on a side.
She's in the house, all right? Give her. We said she might be Casey. We don't know yet. We're not a jury. Maybe Casey.
Maybe Casey. I do think that she is less of a floater. I think she's absolutely not with Jag Blue. She's not on the kids' side. That's for damn sure. I don't think anybody.
She's with the bye-bye
thinks that she
bitches,
is.
right?
Yeah, so like she's with like the bye-bye
That's
bitches,
her
the
ride or
professors.
die.
She is not floating the middle. She's just not doing much.
You want Bowie to, Hallie wants her to make a big move really bad, she says. Bowie's no Casey. Stop it, Alex. That's what Bean says. No, dude, I don't think she is, but if I sit on this take like for a couple more weeks and then she starts doing Casey things, on the off chance she does, I'm gonna come back and replay all these clips and be like, called it. Remember when I called it from the clouds? Like, that's what you do. You just have a terrible take, but you just ride it out for a while, and then when it comes true, like, remember I said that. Like, if you say all the takes, you can't be wrong.
Well, and if we are wrong and she's absolutely not a Casey, then we were just being really kind and optimistic and like hopeful for her.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're those people like,
oh, we're right or we're nice. Oh no.
Yeah. Like at roulette, we're the person that just put we put a chip on every single number, and then we lose our mind celebrating when one hits, and it's like, well, yeah, you put your chip on all. You put your chip on all.
You do all.
So it's going to. You lost more money. No, I'm just hitting the takes. Hit the takes. Okay, yeah, let's get to the veto competition. Angela's asking some questions about that. She says, "Can we talk about Felicia?"
This egg thing.
It wasn't the egg thing. We did say an egg thing though, but
yeah, it wasn't this guy.
We're still waiting on the egg thing, and when we get the egg thing, then we'll do this the whole podcast, and it'll be really annoying. You're gonna hate it. I mean, it might be really fun. Just watch. Yeah. But yeah, can we talk about Felicia and the sludge for 45 minutes? The veto competition was called Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, and they had to
Cock-a-Doodle Zoo.
Maybe it was one of them. No, it was a Cock-a-Doodle Zoom chicken that Jag is, right?
Yeah. But I thought there was like a. I mean, I could be very wrong.
I could be very wrong. I wrote Cock-a-Doodle-Doo, but I was.
It was hard to understand Bowie.
Yeah, like no, it really is.
Maybe don't pick her to host a comp because you can't. Could you imagine if Matt had been competing and they had gotten Bowie to host?
Fuck.
He would have not known a damn thing.
They were like, I got mad at Jared today because Jared and Blue were in the bathroom, like laying on like that like little couch area they have there, and Matt was talking to him, and they're talking about Matt about swimming, and like Jared was just like, man, yeah, you just, and, like, he kept like mumbling, but he was talking really quiet, and Matt like four times in like the couple of minutes that I had it on that camera was just like, what, yeah, no, what, and I was like, fucking speak up, he's hard of hearing, come on.
Also, like, it's not like he needs to be quiet because they're talking game. So, like, whisper clearly or whatever, like, do better and figuring out that, like, you're just talking about random shit. Don't be an ass.
Yeah. Helly, going back to the veto. Helly says, I don't understand why they wouldn't call it cockadoodle goo or cockadoodle goo. No, you're right. Cockadoodle goo makes sense. I thought she was saying cockadoodle do goo. She was saying
Nah,
cockadoodle goo
no,
the whole
she had
time.
it right.
Nailed it.
It would've
Nailed it
been
first try.
Honestly, what if it is called that? And we just
That's what it should have been.
know.
We would have known. Angela wants us to talk about Felicia. Yeah, so you had to get the egg. You had to go under the little thing and crawl through the sludge, and then go cluck 10 times for 10 seconds, and then they gave you the egg, and then you had to go back across. What was the goo made of? Because it didn't look as bad as they were saying, because it was like sloshing around, and they were like, Felicia was just stuck in it. But I was like, it's sloshing all around it. I was like, it looks like it's water. I feel like you could just.
Well, it was like pulling too. It was almost like sometimes they go through goo and it's like a very liquid, like what they were slimed with. Like,
yes,
that wouldn't have been terrible. It's like, what was the there was a season where it was like the very first HOH comp was diving under like a log and basically going through like that same, it was like, it's like full sap where it's like somebody like got stuck. This was like, it was an older season, but like that looked like what it was. Like, I mean, Corey lost his fucking pants.
Oh, I pay good money for that. A lot of people pay good money for that. I got a front row seat.
That was Blue, not Bowie.
That was Bowie, wasn't it?
No, it was Blue.
She was standing there. I thought she. And then they showed it to her. They showed her in like the crazy scientist thing. The goo was made out of radioactive material. Okay, so that makes the radioactive. So like this is Ashley talking about her husband walking in and being like, "How did they know when to drop the egg?" This is another one of those like this is the part of the episode
behind there
that you hope that somebody doesn't walk in while you're watching it, because then it's like what? What?
Oh, yeah.
What do they have to do? Yeah, like Survivor. Like you're like, well, I mean, they got to stand on this pole for however long they can and make sure they hold this key out and do like they have to, use this thing. Like it's an actual activity, not like, well, I gotta go cluck like a chicken 10 times. Then I gotta get the egg. I gotta go to the goo. I gotta fill an egg basket. I gotta run back. Can't touch ground. That's what you're watching. Okay, cool.
It looked like TikTok slime is what it looked like, where it's just like clear Elmer's glue and like cornstarch or something.
Whatever it was, Felicia struggled in it.
Why did she roll?
It just, I don't know. But then somebody was like, how did she get goo on her back? Because she was on her back. She was like backstroking.
She was
and
rolling.
Matt was just roasting her. He's like, what are you, like, you're not even moving your arms. She was just kind of like doing the worm or like shimmying. Like, she was
just trying to inchworm her way through and not.
Like, what, like, that's not going to get it done. It's not going to get it done. Like, I don't understand when people look like in a competition like that, you can look over and see the other person. There's not a wall. Just look and be like, what are they doing? I'm going to do that thing. Like when they're doing the puzzles and they're like, I was struggling with the puzzle. So I looked over at so-and-so's puzzle and then I did the thing they did. Go look at them and then do that thing.
Yes. I don't know. Like, it seemed very obvious to stay as much out of the goo as possible, which like with the thing that you had to crawl under, like that makes it harder. But like Jag went so fast because Jag's clothes weren't getting in it.
Angela says her husband said the goo is petroleum bullshit. I don't know what the scientific term for that is, but let's go with that.
Yeah.
It looked like there used to be this, it's castor oil or whatever it was the commercial for some shit for your car. And it always like looked green on the commercial. And that's what it reminded me of.
Seems radioactive.
So maybe it was just motor oil or castor oil. 90s kids on the chat tonight. Yeah, everybody's knowing with the goo and all the stuff we're talking about, and Double Dare. But yeah, it was of all the competitions, it was stupid. It was cringy. It was cringy. Funny. You didn't want people that didn't know about Big Brother to come walk in while you were watching it, but like it was not the worst competition. It was like like competition wise, it was good.
Yeah. And apparently it was like actually really, really difficult because afterwards, like they were talking about how like Red burned over 1,000 calories during it. and like could not stay awake. He was like literally physically exhausted afterwards.
Good thing he braided his beard.
Honestly, yes. Could you imagine his like? They probably told him he needed to.
That might have been it.
Because
yeah, Jag
like, tell him to tuck it in his shirt or something. So
yeah, you should have done that. That would just get in the way in a game like that. I do not understand going in there. I mean, I know he can't cut it at this point because like that's your personality. That's how we sell you on the show. But like that'd be really annoying.
In continuity, they won't let him cut it.
That's true. So Jag ends up winning the veto, then uses the veto, does get the chicken suit punishment. That's another part where we wasted some time showing like how wacky is this, and then he gets the weird rap with me. It's like show game talk. We can be showing game talk, but we didn't show the game talk. We showed the chicken suit, and then Jag uses the veto to take himself down. Felicia heard Hyson talking about going after other people, saying go after the king, not the knight. She uses that in her veto speech, and Hyson does not look happy as the episode ends.
Jared did look happy. Jared laughed, and it made me laugh.
That was good. Again, like guy that's gonna blow up that squad. Little things like that are gonna give away.
Yeah. Although there was an entire house flip between the veto competition and the ceremony where Tyson was almost not even nominated. And they showed none of it.
Which I thought might, like, that's usually what Big Brother loves to do is, like, show, like, it's right before the vote most times where it's like we could be watching an HOH comp. Like, what they'll probably do tomorrow is start the pressure cooker. We don't get to see anything really. But, like, they better put that on the feeds, by the way. They better put that on the feed. But what they're going to do is be like, well, I don't know what we're really going to do. And it's like a for sure vote out. Like, should we really get Riley out or should we not get Riley out? And let's spend 10 and a half minutes doing this. And then, unanimous vote. Okay, cool. Well, glad we showed that.
Yeah, but like, and that's when it's before the vote. But this was before the ceremony. Like, this was before.
That's what I'm saying. But they're going to show that. That's what they'll spend the time on. Something that is before a unanimous vote on making us think they're going to flip it when you could have shown shit like this.
Unless there's something going on right now, in which case they'll need to show this.
Well, speaking of, let's just get to some spoilers because I'm still confused and I
have literally no idea.
Was watching up until like fairly close to the episode starting.
I literally have this on my phone right now that I've been like trying to not glance at so that I can be up to date.
So, spoilers portion of the show, even though I'm not sure how good all these spoilers are going to be, but if you want no spoilers whatsoever, then this is your time to tune out at Past Grade Bro. If you're watching us on YouTube, please go and hit play on the audio version of the podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, wherever. If you're listening, please go to YouTube and hit play on the video. You have to click the live video section of Past Gravy Bro on YouTube, but hit play. So we get points. We get credits for both of that. And if you're listening, give us a 5-star review on wherever you're listening to us. So this is your time to tune out. Tune in tomorrow, 9:15 Central, after the episode, the veto or the eviction episode airs. And we're going to do a whole nother recap, maybe even with Emma. But if you don't want spoilers, this is your time to tune out. We'll be back.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
So they are planning on getting Hyson out, but they might also not be getting Hyson out now.
I don't understand. The last time I looked.
That was the worst spoiler ever, isn't it?
I mean, yes, like it's also, I did see, by the way, this happened at 4:10 this morning. Apparently, Izzy realized that earlier in the HOH, she mentioned Suri as Jared's mom.
Oops.
And said, I don't need his mom telling on me, is a quote. And I guess nobody caught it. And when she realized it, she was like, oh, fuck me, I fucking knew it.
Yeah,
but nobody
that's,
caught it, I guess.
right. And you just don't address it. But that was another thing that I was kind of saying, like, where in the storage room, where like if you're being overprotective of him, it's like, oh, she's just being his mom. Yeah, she's really weird about it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like you could play that. You could play that. But yeah, see, the chat's not loving that. The chat's not loving that.
Well, being asked if Heisem had 0 clues, and I think that somehow he did not have a single clue he was going to be nominated.
Because everybody was really scared to like blow that up, because then
Yeah.
they didn't want to be the replacement nom at that point either.
Yeah. So like, I mean, when Feeds came back, like it seemed like he was really upset and crying, and that's when he went on his apology tour of like, I'm so sorry, and literally told every single person in the house, if you save me, I will be loyal to you. And you cannot do that for 7 people if you need 7 votes. Like, they're not all, you can't do it.
Can't do it. It's not a great strategy. But yeah, I don't know. Today I was also watching how Heisem used Cameron's name, about how Cameron was the one talking about the back door, which kind of opens things up for Felicia and all of that. Suri was in the room, entertained the idea. That was kind of before the show was starting. Then Heisem leaves, and she's talking about like maybe that is the play, because if they can't trust Cameron, they should go do all that with Heisem. They should get Heisem out. But like to me, it's like, if you don't have to bring Cameron in, like Red was saying, but like Cameron is already block boy for this season. Use Cameron on the block nonstop. Heisem, you're gonna risk it. Like he's won the vetoes. Now he didn't want to win this veto. Now he's going to be gunning for you. You can't give him any extra motivation. Yeah, no, it's terrible. Like, he's won too many competitions to waste this time getting him out. It's not Survivor before the merge. Yes. Like, this is individual the whole time. If somebody's a good competitor, fuck them. Even if they're on your team, get them out. Right. If they're on the block, don't waste your opportunity. Him showing how like dangerous he is, how cutthroat he can be. He's talking about this like playing a loyal, straightforward, honest, integral game, and then he's going and lying and making up things and doing other shit and pitting people against each other, doing the opposite of that. And like then he's playing the victim. He's playing the victim the next day. Like, yes, of course. He's not the guy. Like, I think Heisem's great at Big Brother. I think he's good at Big Brother. Maybe not in this season, but if it was a lot of other seasons, like Heisem's dominating this game right now. Oh, and I think like you got to get him out, because Heisem would win if you get Heisem to like, if Heisem makes like top 6, 7, like he's got a shot to win no matter what. If you put him in 17 with Vanessa, you know he would have teamed up with Vanessa. And him and Vanessa would have gone final 2 easily. One of them would have won. And yes, not Steve. It would have been like, in any other season where it wasn't that everybody is actually playing, he would have done great. Is this season's Michael? To an extent, he is this season's Michael. I think there were maybe some more people that were there to play a little bit last year, but like this is definitely like when everyone's there to play, and you're doing this much, you're doing too much, dude. And like you're gonna put yourself out there. There's like Michael was like one of the most winningest house guests of all time, literally like holds records. But at the same time, they kept like thinking like, oh, he's not going to win. Like he wasn't a comp beast. Nobody saw him as a comp beast until way later. And then they were like, oh, fuck. Like he didn't look like it. Heisem looked like it, and he is. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so that is going to be, that's going to be a problem if you keep Heisem in the house. I'm not 100% sure on them flipping away from him. I feel like they're going to end up getting like Suri. I think Suri is going to be the brain again. And she's going to be like, you know what? This is dumb. This is dumb. Like when they were going to be like, let's save Riley. And then she's like, no. Let's not save Riley. She wanted to save Riley because she wants Cameron out. So like, if it flips, is that not her push again? I honestly, like,
The last update that I have read, which I was reading while spoiler alert was happening, says that apparently there's a new alliance called Legend 25. And they were talking about getting tattoos of it.
Sick. It's always good
I
when you get a
guess.
tattoo if we
So,
win
like-
the game. Or talk about that.
Or like, I guess Suri was sticking up for Jared, saying he's not giving Blue too much information. But like, I have no fucking clue. No fucking clue.
Yeah, Daniel sums it up the best. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
Oh Lord. Yeah, that's, I mean, really, like, we're giving you the spoilers, and the spoilers are we don't fucking know
Yeah. And
what's
like,
going on, because everything changes every 5 minutes. There's new alliances at all times.
mhm.
Like, we don't know if Legend 25 is real or not. Who knows? And then
I don't even know
they'll
who's
have
in
4
Legend
people,
25.
but
It is-
sometimes they'll have 3 people bring in one other person just to lie to that one other person. So then that person
Yes.
thinks it's an alliance, but they're like, we're working together, but we're not really working together. We just lied to this person. It's crazy. This is the
can't.
best start to a season of Big Brother ever. This is the best
been
first
so
3
good,
weeks in a
yes.
game ever.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's why Heisem needs to maybe stay. If Heisem stays, it's not, I don't like Heisem that much in the game, but like, I want the chaos. Give us the chaos. Give us
The chaos is not going to go away, though. He's not the only chaos bringer. Izzy is. Izzy is the chaos bringer. Apparently, America is a fucking chaos, like, little, I don't know what I was going to say. Like, America is chaotic. Blue's chaotic. Nobody trusts each other. If Heisem goes, I don't think it changes anything. He's not in anybody's alliance anymore.
That's true. That's true.
And it's still all happening around him. Like, Angela said, if Siri's so smart, so if she wants Cameron out, you have to wonder why. He's a threat. But at the same time, Cameron isn't anybody's next out. And people want him gone so quickly, but it's red before Cameron.
And he's block boy. Put him on the block always. Keep putting him on
Also,
the block. You've got a free guy on the block all the time.
Why do we want him out when he's been in literally every competition, not won a damn thing? Like, he's annoying, but has Cameron won anything? No. So,
And
like,
he's there. Oh, but he tells everybody things. Okay, he told people about
So
the
stop
conversation you had
shit.
with him. Yeah, then don't tell him anything. And he won't have anything to tell. Like, that's it. You
tell
control
stupid shit.
what's going on. Daniel thinks he
Yes.
looks like he's from Fraggle Rock.
It's really rough seeing him like try to be like cool with Bertha, his hair, and it's like he is the Wish version of Christian from what is it? From 22, whatever,
20,
the cookout season.
23, yeah.
23. I don't fucking remember. Was it 2 seasons ago?
Yeah.
He's the Wish version of Christian, and like, just stop with your hair, my guy. The picture someone posted
It's
with short hair and no beard, like, whoa.
yeah, that was weird. That was weird. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Cameron's like he's bottom of the totem pole. Bottom of the totem pole. Like, what's the point of getting him out right now? You keep that guy for a little while. You use him as a number later on. You don't tell him anything.
Yeah, just like you don't have to tell somebody real things. You can lie. You don't have to form a fake alliance, which is a lie, I guess, but like you don't have to like really try to play with I don't know. It is full chaotic and it is great. But it's like absolutely wild. And I can't keep up.
It is, and it's a track meet when you're trying to keep up with the live feeds. It's a lot of fun, but keep up with Allison's live feeds at Almar7490 on Instagram. She puts a nice little concise little like 1 or 2 pages a day. You just read through it, boom. It's awesome, very helpful if you're following along with the season. I am at Alex J Middleton on all socials. Allison is at Almar7490 on Instagram and at Affable Allison on the Twitter. We are at Pass the Gravy Bro on all socials as well. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, please go subscribe to the podcast version. Hit play on it. Help us get some points. Help us get some credit. Give us that 5-star review. And if you're listening, go to the YouTube youtube.com/@PassTheGravyBro, or just search Pass the Gravy Bro on YouTube. Subscribe, and then give us a little like on that. Are we watching feeds after the episode tomorrow? If they have the pressure cooker on live, we'll have it on. I don't know if we're gonna stay up through the whole thing.
I will definitely have them on the side, but I'm not watching 17 hours of it. Also, if you never watched the original pressure cooker, there are clips of it.
We went back on Paramount Plus. If you have Paramount Plus to watch feeds, you can definitely go and watch it. Emma and I watched it on Saturday. And
you can the episode was also cuts on YouTube of just
Bo getting just wasted. It was wild.
Releasing
that was a lot of fun.
Fish smell.
Yeah, it was good, and I can't wait to see how they've updated it. I feel like the smell stuff's gonna not be as good because they're gonna try and cancel it down. But I hope it's just as kind of shitty quality. What season?
It's got to be season. Is it All Stars? Is this season 6 or is it? Or is that 7? Season 6 is Janelle's first season. Season 7 is All Stars.
Season 6. Season 6 episode. Give me the number, damn it. Season what? 16. Season 6, episode 16. Thank you, Emma.
Perfect. Thanks, Emma.
We watched it. It was dope. Season 6, K-Suck. Yeah. And then I forgot about Howie. Howie is awesome. And just in general, how low budget the show is.
Howie awesome.
Oh, what's up? It's Howie. Wear my hat like this.
You look like him.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great Wednesday night. We will talk to you guys after tomorrow night's eviction. And make sure y'all keep it gravy until we talk to y'all next time. Pass the gravy, you bros.
Big brother, it's big brother. It's my brother, it's your brother, it's our brother. It's his brother, it's her brother, it's their brother. On Pass the Gravy Bro.